Hello and welcome to the section 5.4 lesson today. Today we're going to take a look at the distributive property. This is kind of a big one when it comes to some algebra stuff. And it really comes down to the main idea that the distributive property means to multiply a sum or difference by a number. In order to do that, we distribute or multiply each term. So that's what's shown here, is that we're multiplying each term in those parentheses by that number. Again, I'm going to pretty much switch to the dot operator of multiplication. And so kind of the easiest way to think about this is the word distribute would be something like what I would do in class when I wanted to give a bunch of people an assignment. I'm going to distribute that to them. I'm going to hand one to every student, one copy of it. So whether we're looking at numbers or algebra, it's kind of the same idea. But I am handing each letter an a copy of A in this problem. In this one, I was handing 7 and 2. Both were handed a 3. And since it's multiplication in between the number and the parentheses, the way we bring those in is that we're going to multiply them. Okay, and it works for both addition and subtraction. So that's what the second row is looking at here. That it works with subtraction also. And so, like here again, I'd be handing that A to the B, and I'd hand that A to that C. So, and we do that with multiplication. So A times B minus A times C. Let's look at a few examples and see how we can do here. But we're going to think about it the same way. The number that's outside gets handed to each one of the numbers inside, separated by plus or minus signs. Okay, so I want to give a 4 to the n, and I want to give a 4 to the 5. So we'd say 4 times n plus 4 times 5. And we can simplify that, say 4n and 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, taking a look at the next one, I have a 12 that I'm going to hand to the 2y, and I'm going to hand a 12 out to the 3. Right? I want to be fair. I want to give everybody what they, I want to hand one out to everybody. So 12 times 2y. And since it's subtraction, I just keep subtraction there. Then I'll say it's 12 times 3. 12 times 2 is 24, so that's a 24y. 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, let's look at the next one. And I'm going to switch colors again. We're just doing the same thing. It'll get a little bit repetitive for just a little bit of time here, but then we'll move on to something else. I want to hand out that 1/2 to both of the terms, being the 6y and then negative 2z, or minus 2z. So 1/2 times 6y, and we'll say minus 1/2 times 2z. And here we're working a little bit of fraction multiplication. 1/2 times 6 is 3. 1/2 times 2 is 1. Or we can just say z. Keep hitting the button and it keeps skipping a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, let's look at these next couple problems. Next one, I have 7 times a minus 2. So I'll have 7 times a minus 7 times 2. 7 times a, I can say, is 7a. 7 times 2 is 14. Next one, I have 3 times d minus 11. So I have 3 times d minus 3 times 11. Say that's 3d minus 33. And there we go. The last one over here, I have 12 times A plus 2/3 B. So we'll just do the same thing that we've been doing. We'll go 12 times A plus 12 times 2/3 B. 12 times A is just going to be 12A. Then I have to do 12 times 2/3. A couple different ways to do that. Kind of the easiest is 12 times 2 is 24, and 24 over 3 would be 8. That's going to be an 8B. Okay. Some of the problems that we'll see with distributive property have more than two things inside of those parentheses. And that gives us a couple different ways that we could do this problem. Okay. I could go either with just thinking about distributive property, and I'll go ahead and hand a 9 out to the 6, the x, and the 2. So 9 times 6. They're all pluses, so plus 9 times x, plus 9 times 2. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times x, and 9 times 2. Okay, now we should switch some things around here. I'm gonna use commutative property on these two. And then with my 54 and 18, I can combine those. So that's going to actually give me 9x. What do we got? 72? 9x plus 72. That's one way to do it. Another way would be working inside the parentheses first. Well, maybe I want to switch these two first and do a little bit of work before I distribute. I will say x plus 6 plus 2. Now I can simplify that. I have a 6 and a 2 here that I could turn into an 8. And then when I distribute, I only have to hand that 9 out to two different numbers, or two different terms. 9 times 8 is 72. And I get the same thing. So, and I guess that's a little bit off. I should say 9 times x plus 9 times 8. I don't want people to think that it's that much less work. I think it is a little bit quicker. But if you need to see that there is one step, just because I put that step right here, where I multiplied the 9 by the different numbers, it's not entirely quicker, but it does go a little bit nicer. Okay, so you would pick which way you would want to do that. Either way is acceptable. Do you want to do the work in the parentheses first, make you distribute something into less numbers, or would you rather do the distributive property, get that taken care of, and then see where you can combine some things? So what that really gets at, let me move it to where we can see it, is an idea of combining like terms. So to start with that, we do need to know what like terms are. So we've got a definition kind of sneaking in right here. And it says definition of like terms. They are terms with, I don't know why I feel like there needs to be an E on with. Good job. I always do that when I want to say with the. With the same variable and exponent combination. Okay. So looking at some like terms, an example of them, in these two, I have a 4x and a 5x. Those are both a number of x's to the first power. So they have the same variable and exponent combination. The two other numbers, the 6 and the -2, are both numbers with no variables and no exponents. So technically they're alike also. So when I want to combine like terms, I want to gather all the x's. I want to gather all the numbers. I might use commutative property here really quick and say this is like 4x plus 5x plus 6 minus 2. I just flip those two around. And then I can combine things that have the same variable and exponent combination. Technically, this takes the distributive property that we just talked about and kind of uses it backwards. In other words, I'm going to, whereas when I do the distributive property, I hand something to every number. Here, I'm going to take something out of every number. Okay, both of these terms have an x. So it could have looked like, and I'm going to write it a little bit different, but it could have looked like 4 plus 5 times x. And then where that x would have been distributed, I would get this same thing. Now I put the x on the right because usually we like to see the x on the right, but it could have been on the left also. 4 plus 5 x, and then plus 6 minus 2 is 4. And 4 plus 5 would give us 9. So if I were to combine these or simplify this expression, I would get 9x plus 4. Okay, and I think you actually have room down here that you could have written some of that if you're running out of room there. But I chose up there just so I wasn't in the way and it didn't feel like I was writing on the bottom of the paper. Let's take a look at a couple examples and see how we can do. Again, we're going to use the distributive property or the reverse of the distributive property on this just to get a feel for it. I have 3x and 2x. So if I undistribute that, if I take those back from the 3 and the 2, take the x back, I get 3 plus 2x. 9 and a minus 5 is going to be a 4. And 3 plus 2 is 5x. Now, we are trying to stay with all of our rules here, but I do like to go through first and find things that are like terms, and kind of, you might notice that I'm kind of underlining them differently just to give myself an idea of what I need to combine. So sometimes I'll use this little square underline. Sometimes I'll do like a little squiggly underline, just something that helps me keep things a little bit straighter. So since they're not right next to each other, I'm going to make them right next to each other using distributive property. 7w plus 3w plus 11 and my minus 4. Okay. Then we'll undistribute 7 plus 3. Throw a w outside. 11 minus 4 is 7. And 7 plus 3 is 10. So we get 10w plus 7. Okay. Sometimes we need to distribute before we simplify. So let's take a look at a couple of those examples. I'm going to go ahead and distribute first. I'm going to give a 3 to everything in the parentheses. It ends at the parentheses. I don't keep going, right? That b is not in those parentheses, so it doesn't get a 3. Uh-oh. Wrong button. There we go. Need to backtrack a little bit. So I'll get 3 times b is 3b. And if you want to speed this up, 3 times 5 is 15. Now I'll tell myself what kind of terms I have. And I'll go with these ones for now. Kind of squiggly underline my constants. I do need to flip these two around using commutative property. And I am going to tell myself if it's just a b, it is 1b. Okay. And then plus 15 plus 2. So I'll undistribute now. 3 plus 1. Bring a b out. 15 plus 2 is 17. 3 plus 1 is 4. So I have 4b plus 17. Last but not least, I have another problem that does require me to distribute first. So I have a 7z plus 2z and minus 10z. Oh boy, sorry, 10y. Making a little more work for myself. Okay, remember that like terms have to have the same variable and exponent combinations. So I have some z's and I have some y's, and those are different. I can't combine those together. So I'll deal with the z's. I'll undistribute that. Okay, I said I was going to do it and didn't do it. Undistribute that z. 7 plus 2, put a z outside, minus 10y. 7 plus 2 is 9. So we have 9z minus 10y. That's as good as we can do on simplifying that, because I can't combine z's and y's, just like I can't combine b's and numbers. Okay. So you're at a point now where you could try the U-try problems. We will get those done on the day that we work on the assignment. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you in class. Have a good day.